With ABC 17's Ben Fine and Joshua Blount, who are live at the scene of yesterday's train crash. And Ben, we're going to start things off with you this morning. You've been looking into that investigation overnight, and now this morning we know that a crew from the NTSB is set to arrive there later today.
Megan, the National Transportation Safety Board announced via Twitter that they would be sending a team to investigate the crash. And you can see here behind me the crash here in Chariton County. Scene still very active. I've seen multiple crews coming and going since I arrived around 3:45 this morning. Now, if you take a look at your screen now, you can see that tweet where the safety board announced they'd be sending a 14-person GO team to investigate the train derailment. The team is expected to arrive today, so we'll certainly be sure to update you as soon as they get in. The NTSB also announced via Twitter that Amtrak has activated their 800 number for family members seeking information about their loved ones and the crash. If you want to reach out, that number is 800-523-9101. We also dug into some records for crashes since 2017, and according to the U.S. Department of Transportation, there's been 3 other train crashes in Chariton County in the last 5 years. 2 of those crashes did result in a death. And Megan, we're going to be here in Chariton County all morning this morning. We'll be sure to update you with any of the latest information as soon as we learn more. For now, reporting live in Chariton County, Ben Fine, ABC 17 News.
Thanks so much for that reporting, Ben. And that horrific crash has left many people injured and even a few dead. Now, ABC 17's Joshua Blount joins us live this morning with more team coverage from Chariton County. And Josh, can you give us an update on the victims and where a few of them were taken for treatment?
Megan, good morning. Since yesterday, there has been a team effort from hospitals across the state to ensure that all the victims have the proper care. Now, our latest numbers show over 50 people were reported hurt, and in Boone County at last check, MU Healthcare is currently caring for 16 patients. Now, yesterday, Boone Health told us that they were expecting to see 30 patients arrive at their hospital. Now, according to reports, the Amtrak train struck a dump truck at the railroad crossing on Porsche Perry Avenue, which caused the derailment. Now, Highway Patrol has said that the Amtrak train was carrying 207 passengers at the time of the accident. Authorities reported there were 3 deaths and 2 on the train, and one other from the dump truck driver. Now, there were also 2 Boy Scouts on the train. Yes, 2 Boy Scout troops on the train yesterday, who, according to reports, help render aid to some of the victims. Trauma medical director at MU Healthcare says the length of time victims will stay in the hospital will vary.
I would imagine most of the patients will probably have a relatively short length of stay, and to me that's in the order of 1 or 2 days. But I think there are a few that will probably potentially be here 5 to 7, just as an initial estimate.
Now, we're also told that 1 person has died at MU Healthcare, but we don't know if that person was included in the original 3 who died and accounted for. Reporting live from Chariton County, Joshua Blount, ABC 17 News.
Thanks so much for that reporting, Josh. And local and national leaders are now responding after that crash. Governor Mike Parson said he was saddened to hear of the derailment and asked Missourians to pray for those impacted by the crash. U.S. Senators Roy Blunt and Josh Hawley also tweeted about the incident, Blunt calling it terrible news and said he was grateful for the first responders who were helping out. And Hawley, along with Blunt, said they were ready to help with federal assistance if needed. Meanwhile, U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says he was saddened by the loss of life, adding that his team is staying in touch with Amtrak and railroad officials, which are en route to Missouri to help out with that investigation. U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi also sent out thoughts for people affected by that crash, and she hopes that prayer from many Americans could bring comfort to those involved. And as crews head out to that crash site in Chariton County, we spoke with a professor at Missouri S&T who tells us it's not hard to find those dangerous crossings. Jeffrey Schramm says many of those rural crossings only see a handful of cars each day, and trains can go up to 90 miles an hour through the area. Schramm says it's up to drivers to be extra cautious at those crossings. We also spoke with a farmer who uses that particular crossing where the crash happened. And he says it's been dangerous, and he's been working for years to get the railroad to make some changes.
We actually tried to do this back 8 or 10 years ago, but really hard for the last 2 years. It was pretty predictable.
MoDOT actually had this very intersection on its list of needed safety improvements. According to online records, there have been 3 train crashes in Chariton County since 2014. And of course, we'll continue to follow the latest on this crash and bring you any updates on air and online as soon as we have them. You can also find our full coverage of the crash by heading over to abc17news.com.